Well, it's a public holiday, but around the world, we'll see what's playing out in the commodities market. Let's start with gold, which is doing pretty well this public holiday. I must tell you, surged to another record high. Despite all of the challenges, the back and forth with the tariffs, we see gold trading at $3,147.10 and positive change of 32.80, and it's up positive 1.05%. Let's go to silver and see what is happening in that market. $34.90 is what's playing out. Copper, $504 an ounce. Platinum, $991.44, and it's a bit down 0.53% at this end. Copper is down 1.75%. Silver is positive 0.23%, and gold is up 1.05%. New record highs, I must say, for the gold market. Let's go to see the commodities market as it's faring today, and corn is $454.25 per ton. Wheat is $528.25. Cocoa, I beg your pardon, is above $8,000 today, and that's pretty good for that market. In recent times, it's been hovering between $7,900 and $7,800 in recent times, but we see a positive of 54.00, and that's 0.67% positive in the cocoa market. I'm sure something brilliant is happening around that space. Quarting, as always, is $66.57 and is down 0.49%, negative 0.33%. That's it for the African commodities market this afternoon. As always, we'll continue to monitor the prices of all of this, considering the flip-flop. We expect some new tariffs to even come up very as soon as we move on from the 2nd and 3rd of April. But Donald Trump and all of this will put a signal to the market, either up or down. But we'll be reporting all of this as it continues. But let's see what the global market is looking like. I noticed that they are all bleeding. All markets are starting the week in red. Yes, gold is buoyed, as I said that earlier. Tariffs stoke recession fears. There is a fear of recession in the United States, considering all that has been happening. We saw the Fed even holding up rates and all of that, but there is still that mixed bag of what might happen, considering the tariffs and policies of President Donald Trump. World shares market fell sharply today, and gold surged to another new record after President Donald Trump said tariffs would essentially cover all countries as worries over global trade war could lead to a recession. Now, Europe's stock 600 fell 1%, significant, to its lowest level in almost 8 weeks, while major market indexes in Frankfurt, London, and Paris fell between 0.8% and 1%. S&P 500 futures lost 0.7%, as you can clearly see here, extending Friday's rout, while Nasdaq futures shed a whopping 1.1%. Now, Japan's nickel led the rout in Asia, losing an eye-watering 4.1% in that market and is falling down to a 6-month low. It's really uninteresting as automaker stocks continue to suffer the fallout of Trump's stock. Don't forget, a 25% tariff on imported cars was instituted sometime late last week, and it's also, we have this around aluminium and steel. All of these are components of vehicle making, and we've seen the impact hitting hard on nickel, down 4.1% this afternoon. Now, the MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside of Japan also shed 1.9%. These are significant numbers and impacts on the generality of a global stock market. Well, let's go to oil market and see what it's mixed here. Well, some still in green despite the market, but crude oil market waits to see Trump's Russian oil tariff threat. If the trend is a bluff. Now, there's been this back and forth with regards to the crude oil markets and some of the utterances from President Donald Trump. And it's something to really look at because Nigeria is an oil exporting country. We export oil. We make so much money from oil. And, you know, anything that has to do with the price of crude is a concern to us as a country. So Trump's threat to hit buyers of Russian oil with tariff as the shock value of a barrage of threats from the White House begins to wear thin with traders. Now, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude is positive 0.20%, selling for $69.50 per barrel. Now, there's an upward movement in that price for 0.20%. But Brent crude futures, on the other hand, are at $74.08 and is up 0.61%. That's for Brent crude futures. Now let's go to Bonny Light. Bonny Light sells for $78.62 per barrel with a price decline of 2.84%. It stayed like this for some time, but for the OPEC basket, dealers offer $76.11 per barrel. It has an upsurge of 0.20%. That's the only market in green this afternoon.